I'm ready. I happen to know that Goku isn't the only Super Saiyan. Matter of fact, you're looking at one.
Let's wrap this up. Taste my full power!
This is no joke. Let's go! Finish Buster! You ready? Here goes! I'll end this! Take this!
Is that the best you could...
Right. Now, we have Sword Trunks. Unlike the more modern-day games, Sparking Zero takes it back to the older Budokai Tenkaichi and Raging Blast series, where Trunks is divided into two versions, or at least his Z counterpart is broken up into two versions, his Sword version and his Saiyan Fighting Armor version. This one is pretty much just the early fight with the androids, aka the History of Trunks movie, and mainly from his fight with Mecha Frieza, really, genuinely. And that small fight he has with Android 17 in the past, but that barely really counts. He has a nice basic attack. He has some pretty okay combos. It's nice to see him use his sword. I really can give Sparking Zero this. The characters that actually wield weapons actually use them in their basic combos, which is very rare. Most games just leave them as for their supers, ultimates, or their grabs, really, not really in their basic, like, combo strings. Now, this Trunks, granted, is using a mix, but I'd rather them use a mix and not give him a total sword fighting style, although that would be cool. But for the base one, this really does work, and I think it fits Trunks really well. Now, he does have his standard slash sword grab, which is pretty standard for most games. It's a nice move, but unlike some of the other sword grabs in this game, it's pretty meh. It's just a X slash into a knockback. I would have much rather them gone with the 3 slices that he has in Raging Blast 2. Now, Finish Buster.
Let's go! Finish Buster!
It's pretty much what you would want. This is Trunks' signature move, and this version of Trunks usually has Finish Buster anyways. It's a nice move. It is pretty cool. It more or less looks like Trunks is throwing a sun or a ball of lava, then he does make it look like he's firing a fire. But burning attack, Finish Buster works perfectly fine. This Trunks has relatively stayed the exact same throughout the years. Now, his volley, Burning Storm. It's actually one of the best volleys in the game. It's charged with one hand, has a unique animation, and usually there's, like, not a lot of blasts that come out during this volley. It's one of the cooler volleys. And it is probably my favorite volley in the game. It's a very cool move, and for a preset that pretty much, or for a character that pretty much does nothing until he goes Super Saiyan, it's a nice change of pace, because he really only does one attack. So it's cool to see it here. The volley is here because they probably didn't have anything to give him, and unlike the other base forms in this game, I'm actually okay with them keeping the volley from the older games because it is a unique volley, and we usually don't get one-handed volleys or volleys in that shape anyways, so it's different from the other volleys. Now, Lightning Sword Slash is actually meant to be the move he uses to murder all the Frieza soldiers when Mecha Frieza comes down, but in most games it's just a barrage of energy blades. which is fine. I would much rather them in this game turn it into a rush or something, and then maybe end it with the final energy slash we see. My biggest issue with this one is, unlike the other ones where it happens super fast, this one is a lot more cinematic, and we get to see Trunks fire all these blades, but we do not get to see them hit at all until the last one, where it kind of just engulfs them and explodes. I would much rather see the blades connect and then the final one come in and it looks like it slashes them in half, like they did in the older games with Guldo's ultimate, where it faces like that white, and it's implied that they are slashed in half. That would have been a nice way to do it. And if you really wanted to make this one special, make it a rush. He does a bunch of we just see black, a bunch of blue slashes. Trunks flips and does the energy slash that slices them in half. That would have been a cool ultimate, but like I said, this is also just a cool ultimate in general. Even without the upgrades, I don't really have any issues with this preset of Trunks. Actually, this is one of the better presets of Trunks, in my personal opinion. Just, yeah, it's pretty cool, and there's not much to be like, oh, it's super duper amazing, but this is better than a lot of the other base form characters, and at least he has interesting and cool moves and has a cool ultimate. It just needed to be formatted better.
Let's settle this. Stop messing around! How about this? Take this! No more holding back! It's over! Shit!
Now, Super Saiyan Sword Trunks. He does have the improvement. He now just fully uses his sword, which is really cool to see. I love when they do this. Just him using his weapon, and really fast at it too, actually. I don't see how I could go wrong with this. He has really good basic attacks, and they managed to make him feel different from his Super Saiyan counterpart. Yeah, he pretty much just really uses his sword for every bit of his combos, and that's just amazing to see. I'm gonna keep on praising it because, like, we don't get to see this all that often. Still the same grab, whatever. Burning Attack, finally. I've always felt kind of meh with the way Burning Attack is represented in this game, but it's good enough. Also, this is the Trunks that does use a Burning Attack, so it makes sense for him to have it here. Although, I will say, you could have switched this out for Buster Cannon, mainly just because in this game, like, for Cooler's Supernova, he fires the blast that he does to stun, or to blind Goku, and then he fires the Supernova. In this game, you could have had it where Trunks fires the Burning Attack, Frieza jumps up, then he jumps down, does the slices, and does the blast. But for the most part, they actually kind of fixed it because Trunks' first slash knocks him up into the air, he then jumps down and then does the slashes. But since this game really likes to be anime accurate, I don't understand why they can't have it be this way. They did it for Budokai 3, but I will be talking about Burning Slash at a later date. His version of Burning Storm sucks. It feels like he's throwing bones at somebody. Like, if Lucario ever got into the game and for one other ungodly reason they gave him Bone Rush, this is what I imagined it to look like. It's not good. It feels slower, and it's just a crappier version of his base form Burning Storm. It has a unique charge and it looks unique, but it doesn't feel as good as his one-handed volley. I think a better use of this would have been either a made-up move with the sword, or like you could have done something with Shining Slash. Do a nice combo where like he slashes them, appears behind them, slashes them, like do like 5 slashes and then boom. That I think that would have been better. But really, people don't play this Trunks for his supers, they play it for the ultimate. This is one of the best versions of Burning Slash, and I do mean that. It's just a nice slid up combo slash 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 slash. Even these sword effects sound good. They like also kind of linger on him charging his blast, and then the actual blast stays there for a little bit. It's very similar to the one from Raging Blast 2. I have to compare them side by side, but this is either the best version or the second best version of Burning Slash. Maybe the one from Raging Blast 2 has the better version, but I really do like the Sparking Zero one, and usually Sparking Zero rushes aren't that good for ultimates. They're too fast, like in Ultimate Gohan's Burst Rush or future Gohan's Fierce Combination. They're way too fast, and you don't really get to feel the power of the hits land. But it feels like if they just gave it like a second or a split second more on the slashes and made everything just a little bit longer, this would be really good. It still is pretty much perfect, though. Like, it's still just really good. And this is probably one of Trunks' best attacks in this game, and it's way better than the one they had for Xenoverse. This does surpass the Budokai Tenkaichi version for me, though. No offense to that one, but I just think this one is done better. Raging Blast, it's a toss-up, because I think Raging Blast 2 has a really good version of it. And I don't really know which one I like more. It's a hard toss-up. Now, for Sword Trunks in general, how does he compare to the rest of the characters? He's a worthy addition. I really like when they add in this version of Trunks and have the Trunkses be separate and not costumes. I think it really helps to make Trunks come alive and be his own character. For what he's meant to be, yeah, he's pretty good. He gets everything across, besides maybe a few oopsies and uh-ohs here and there. This is a really good version of Trunks, and I'm happy he finally came back. I would say he's towards the middle, more up on the top when it comes to how much I like the character and how much I think he is unique to compare him to the other characters we've gone over so far. And I would say this is our second best Trunks, if we are considering fighting DBS and Kid Trunks like I will be. This is definitely the second best Trunks, even with those little tiny flaws.